Okay, so this video will be going over just the general stuff for Sludgefist. There's not a lot to go over. It's a fairly simple fight, but just a couple things. So first thing we're going to be going over is just the boss positioning. So this is the boss positioning on pull. Tanks will be on this side, melee will be over here. So why we have, and then range and healers will be generally around this area. You can move, ranged and healers can somewhat move over here, but generally you want to stay around this area. This is just because when we run out, range shouldn't have to move, and then when you run out for the stomp for melee will run out this way, and tanks will run out this way. So for the next positioning, after we kill the first pillar, the tank and the melees swap. That way, because this side of the room will start filling up with the rubble on the ground. So this just gives more room for melee, and it's generally the same thing. Ranged and healers stack around here, start moving a little bit more towards the second pillar and kind of in the middle of the room. And they just stay here during the stomp, and then melee will be able to run out this way and tanks this way. We also have this positioning because we always want to try to put the melee always as close to the pillar as we can. That way their travel time's less. That way they have more uptime on boss. So after pillar 2, range will just kind of scoot their way towards the middle of the room and middle/bottom of the room. And then the boss will be tanked over on this wall. Tanks will be on this side, melee on this side again, trying to keep melee as close to the pillar as we can. Range will stay here. Melee runs out here during the stomp, and tanks run out this way. And then after we do the third pillar slam, range will move over here on this side and on this side of the pillar. Again, melee close to the pillar, tanks on this side. This is going to be pretty tight right here because melee have to actually run out somewhat near the range. So we want to really make room for range, really to make sure they don't want to stack too tight to melee. So you have all this room back here. Obviously, make sure you can hit the boss range, but this is going to be the tightest spot, most likely. And then after the fourth pillar, it's kind of just a flip-flop. Range will go over here and use whatever room they have left. Melee will be over here, and tanks will be over there. Again, melee, you can run out this way, whatever way you can. There's going to be lots of rubble on the ground, a lot less room after the fourth pillar. So at that point, it's just finding a safe spot. But generally, this is where we want to stand. So going over it one more time real quickly. On pull, this will be your positioning. After pillar 1. After we smash the second pillar. After we smash the third pillar. After we smash the fourth pillar until the end of the fight. Okay, so now going over chain slam. So this is going to generally be in the same area of boss positioning, but this is going to be generally the chain slam location of where things are going to be. Mainly doing this that way everyone kind of knows where to go at one point. That way it's not all over the place. So the chain slam location for chain slam 1 will be just behind. The range will just be just behind over here on this pillar. Again, it's just going to go along pretty much with positioning. So chain slam 2, after we smash the first pillar, it's going to be pretty much directly in the center. Chain slam 3 is going to be just off center a little bit, pretty much between this smashed pillar and this pillar that's still up. A last one will be the range the people that are targeted will just be farther away here, and then again here. So again, we'll go through one more time all the chain slams. This is the location of chain slam 1, chain slam 2, chain slam 3, chain slam 4, and chain slam 5. Okay, so now we're going to be going over pillars. So this is just a quick look of what the pillars look like and where we're going to soak. So ranged and healers, for the most part, are going to be skull, hunters, and whoever's paired with the chain linked with the hunters, or they're paired with them, will be X. Melee will be triangle, and tanks will be square. So you can see that pillar 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same for every single one, and then pillar 4 is flip-flopped. So hunters go far, range here, and it's just flip-flopped from these. So again, pillar 1 through 3 is exactly the same, and pillar 4, the only thing that's flip-flopped is is range and hunters, and melee and tanks. You just flip-flop on your corresponding sides. So going more in depth, this is again just a closer look at pillars 1 through 3. This is the of where your soak locations are going to be. and then this is this. So this is the second soak. So every pillar has a big circle that everyone soaks, and then they split into 2 small circles, and they can either be front and back or north and south facing the pillar, or they can be side to side like they are here. So again, they can be front and back or side to side. So this is pillar 1 through 3. So I have the people that would be soaking this as assigned right now, but it obviously is different, and I'll go over assignments again before every fight, but it's going to be the same every single time. So pillars 1 through 3, you can see that tanks are over here on the square. So this is Steel and Ajir. So they would each, so after the first big soak, when it splits into 2 smaller soaks, Ajir would soak one and Steel would soak the other. And then same for the melee, because melee is triangle. So they'd be over here. So this is a left and right, which is assigned to Sane as the right and Psalm as the left. If it was front and back, it would be Diane and Gig. So, and then over here, the hunters, it'll be Irisong and Earthog, each soaking 1, and their pairs soaking with them. Or like again, if let's say this person right here is paired with Irisong, you can actually soak the corresponding ones, and you don't have to be in the same one. The length of your chain is longer than this, and you'll never snap it unless you guys both run this way, and then you would kill each other. But you should be able to soak both. So again, this would be Irisong and Earthog, because if we go back here, you can see hunters are on X for pillars 1 through, or they're X, and pillars 1 through 3. This is where they would be soaking right here. And then all other ranged and healers would be here. Again, if you ever are paired with a hunter, you always go to where the hunters are, which would be X, which would be this location on pillars 1 through 3. Okay, so pillar 4, again, it's opposite. It just skull and X are flip-flopped, and square and triangle. So melee and tanks are flip-flopped, north and south, and hunters and ranged are flip-flopped. That's just mainly because the boss location. And so this is what pillar 4 would look like. You can see that the hunters are now up here, and their partners that are paired with them. The rest of the range and healers are down here now. You have Ajir and Steel. Again, this is the side, the east and west, or left and right. Again, Ajir would soak 1, Steel would soak another. And you can see that this one, which is the melee now, is different. Like I told you before, it's a front and back, which would mean this soak would be Diane and Gig. Again, so in this location, or in this instance, if Psalm, or like Psalm, who would actually be over here, and Sane, who would be soaking this side, if they see that they don't have one to soak, they can help soak. Obviously, don't ever miss your soak where you're at, but if you see it, you can obviously go in. There's lots of time to get in, but as long as they're getting soaked, they only do 2,000, only does 2,000 damage to the player, so it's not that big a deal, but it's split between players, so if you can, it'll help out, but never ever miss your soak. Never run out of a soak because you think you have to go help out someone else. Always sit in your soak that's assigned to you. So again, just that's kind of going through everything. Again, this is pillar 4. This is what it looks like. All the positioning, all these pictures I will be posting in the Sludgefist channel in Discord. So pay attention to that. If you have any questions, please ask me about what we're doing. The other stuff, the other mechanics in this fight are the stomp, which puts circles around everyone. That's more, you're just going to have to get a feel for how big the circle is, how far you can run away from your partner, and just the general movement of the fight. One big thing is if you're this healer right here or this range, if this is your spot that you started, always stand there. And then this person will adjust and they'll always stand here, and then everyone will be used to their position the entire fight. Once you do something, consistently do it, unless you're consistently doing it wrong, but always do the same thing. That way everyone else can be consistent. That way we have consistent pulls as early on as possible. But yeah, all these pictures will be posted. So if you have any questions, please message me and let me know about anything. But the big thing we want to do is we never want to miss a soak, because that'll instantly wipe us. We never want to mess up a chain slam, because that'll instantly wipe us. And then if we can fix those two things, the rest of it is just personal responsibility of being good with not snapping chains and making sure we're not cleaving on other people when the stomp comes out. So again, if you have any questions, please ask me, and then I will be posting all these pictures of everything. That way you can go back and look. And if you need a refresher, always come back, watch the video to make sure that you know what's going on.